Good morning, Captain Coder here. Happy Wednesday, everybody. We are back. We are excited here. We're working on SkyDriver, designing a project that I hope to use it in my Intro to Unity class. So I'm teaching an Intro to Unity class. This is sort of students have taken a C# class with me at this point. At least they may have taken some other classes, but at least taken a C# intro to C# class. I mean, they haven't really seen classes. So in this class, they're gonna be exposed to classes, unit testing, and we're using Unity as a conduit for empowering them to create cool things. This is sort of the third project that they're gonna be seeing in the class. Maybe. Ooh, apparently that link looks terrible. In the scroller down there. I gotta fix that real quick. I didn't realize how terrible that link was gonna look. Let's add in a style to that real quick while we can. Style color. Let's try yellow. Let's see if that helps it out there. All right, the ticker's still refreshing. Here we go, refresh. All right, maybe that'll look a little bit better. But yeah, we are working on SkyDriver, which is a 3D. I know you can't press it. Mooniz, MMO Pug, and Clayman, thank you so much for hopping into the stream. Happy to have you here today. So happy to have you here. We were gonna make this game like a physics-based game, but then yesterday we sort of decided, oh well, it's not actually that much of a physics-based game. And I did some research. And I discovered, I was reading about physics in Unity and physics in games, that sort of stuff. And we really don't want to be using physics, like real physics. We want to be faking physics for this game. And using some of the physics where we can, but we're not really having things flying around, that sort of stuff. And it turns out Unity has like 4 different types of physics. Depending on what you really want to do. And so their 2D physics and their 3D physics engines actually operate on 2 different systems, which is interesting. I did not know that. And then they also have data model physics. So you could do, quote unquote, real world physics. They have like a separate one. And then they have Havok physics, which is much different it's like a different physics engine. So the one that is typically with 3D is their NVIDIA physics. And so we're going to be playing around with that a little bit more, but we are going to be doing our own brand of physics to make it a fun playable game. It turns out in most games it suggests if you're going for a certain specific type of fill, physics probably isn't for you. MMO Pug says, I lost power Monday morning when you started figuring out how you wanted to use gravity. Got power back late last night. Well, I'm glad your power's back. I'm so sorry that you're powering up. That's always frustrating, especially in the modern era. It's my nightmare. My nightmare is, oh no, I don't have power. What am I gonna do with myself? My life revolves so much around it. I have backup batteries charged, ready to go. So I still have my computer. I own, we have wireless hotspots. We have wireless hotspots, so we typically still have internet even when our power goes out, because we're kind of I guess pathetic's the right word. We don't know how to deal with the world not being connected. I gotta be connected. I need my electricity. Mike Collard, good morning, coders. Happy Wednesday. So nice to see you again. Welcome back. Thank you so much for all the support you give. I did receive your care package. One sec, everybody. I'll be right back. Give me a moment. I am back. I gotta show off some of the gifts that were sent. That's the wrong stream. The stream has started. We got this. This is cool. I never, got myself a Captain Coder shirt. Captain Coder shirt was sent to me. That's pretty sweet. Nice little like actual vinyl on there. That's nice. That's nice. Got a Captain Coder shirt. Thank you so much. And then also a bunch of Captain Coder stickers, which was such a nice little surprise. Was not expecting it at all. And so I'm gonna be putting this swag all over my stuff. I'm super happy about that. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it so much. Really, really do. But happy Wednesday. Yeah, that was super cool to see in the mail. I'm glad you had so much fun making them. It was such a surprise, such warmth in my heart to open that up and see it. I think that was super cool. All right. So let's see. What do we want to go? What do we want to do today? What are our goals? What are our goals? All right. So primary goal, we want to add elements, level elements. So I think today I really want to focus on, we created our exit tunnel, which is cool. I want to focus on adding platforms that, or adding in sort of like a framework so that we can make platforms do different things pretty easily. I don't think it's going to be that hard to do. So we have like a fire platform that destroys the player, a sticky platform that slows the player down, and a boost platform that speeds the player up. I don't think it's going to be that hard to do. So I think I'm going to add in a fourth one here, which is I want to add in a bounce when jumping. And I think we can do this pretty easily with a bouncing physics material, but I've never done it. So I don't think that'll be that hard to do. And then the other one, what else do we want to do? The HUD feels like a lot of effort, so we probably aren't going to do a HUD. But a fifth one, we're going to add in platforms, add in a jumping bounce, and then I guess my bonus is going to be add explosion animation slash particles. Okay, so I think adding in the explosion would be really cool. Those are my goals today. Let's get this in our sign on. Go into a sign on here. Oop, stand by. Give me a moment. But we're gonna do a sign on here. Keep ourselves honest. Sign on. All right, see what we can get done today. But yes, happy Wednesday. We're gonna hop in here, see what we can get done. So let's take a look at what we have. The answer is not much. Not much, but we got a couple things. We can hop around, we can fall off the edge, we can respawn. We added in some fake physics for when you're on the side of something, you sort of keep moving, but if you keep pushing yourself into it, you slow down. All right, but not infinite. And then if you go through the end tunnel, you clear the level. So we got jumping, we can jump on these. Oh, and then the last thing is if you happen, ooh, that was interesting. Did I do it? Okay. The PhysX went fizzy, the PhysiX. That's interesting. All right, so there's some glitchy stuff going on that we got to figure out. Maybe interesting. All right, the crash there makes more sense. I wasn't sure. Somehow, all right, so there's some weird things related to physics with falling through the ground that I don't quite understand. But we can play around, we can figure that out. But crashing, I think, okay. All right. Rave, my friend, good morning. Good morning, happy Wednesday. How are you doing today? Did you manage to dig yourself out of all that snow? Are you still buried? I hope you're not buried alive, but hopefully making progress. Good to hear it. Glad you're out of it. All right, let's get rid of these debug lines real quick. That's fine. We don't need the debugs in here. All right. Boom. Yeah, it looks like I'll need to think about maybe even adding in a little bit of checks there. Yeah, so for the ground, I might have to do a thicker ground, which would be fine. which would be fine, or at least make the box collider on them thicker, right? So that it sort of detects it sooner and pushes you out. Because I'm assuming because it's so thin, we're going through it. Okay. What did I already forgot what I was doing. Oh yeah, I already forgot what my plan was here. Platforms. Yeah, we want to make different types of platforms that can do different types of things, affect the player in different ways. All right, so there's 3 types of platforms I want to make. Fire platform, which just destroys the player. That one should be easy. That one should be the easiest to make. All right, so let's, in our prefab, I think I'm just gonna make a prefab, we'll put it in obstacles platform. All right, and this one we're just gonna call it a fire platform. All right, nice and long there. Doesn't have to be big, but we're gonna rename this one to fire platform. Daniel, welcome aboard, my friend. Welcome back. How are we doing today? How are you, Daniel? How is school going? Yes. Let's see here. We have, oh, I gotta create a new material. I want to create a fire material. I'll call this fire material. And it's gonna be so epic. Look, check this out. Look how epic that material is. So let's go with maybe. Yes, look at the epic fire material. So epic. So fiery. So fiery. Oh, that's the cockpit material. Ooh. Ooh, it's so hot. It's so fiery. You can feel it. All right, we're gonna make this 20 by default. Easy to scale up, scale down. All right, and we're just gonna add on to it. Flaming. It's flaming hot. We know it's flaming hot because of that pink color. That's how you know. Last class is ended. Or you only 6 today. So I don't quite understand. You have 6 classes left, or the class is over, or you only have 6 more classes. I'm curious. I don't quite understand. Don't quite understand. I'm not a smarty. I've got one of those, those small brains. I never know exactly what people mean. So any assistant there would be helpful. But we're gonna come in here. We're gonna make a fire platform controller. This is gonna be our fire bed. Like this. All right, this is our fire platform controller. And it's gonna have a collider. And it's just gonna say, oh, you normally have 7 classes. Oh, the last class of the day is over. So you have 6 classes. It's a long day. How long are the classes? Are they 1-hour classes, 40-minute classes, 30-minute classes, 90-minute classes? That's a lot of classes. When I was an undergrad, I took way too many classes. I was too, I was hyper motivated to finish my degree very, very quickly. And then I ended up taking 6 years to finish my undergrad degree. But my first semester, I took 14 classes. Like the first 2 years, I would take like 12 to 14 classes a semester. And then I was doing summer school. I actually loved summer school. That was my favorite time. You'd focus on 1 or 2 classes and really, really go deep on them. But yeah, my first semester of college, I took 14 classes like some kind of crazy person. I wanted to finish school in 3 years, I think. So it's like, I gotta get them all in. Yeah, that was a mistake. I did well. I passed all my classes. But it wasn't intense. Okay, what am I doing here? It's the fire platform controller. We're gonna add that on here. And we want to add in well, what's interesting here, this is interesting. Fire platform controller. What's interesting, 45 minutes, that's a long day, man. Are they back to back? So like you finish one, you have 5 minutes, you go to the next one. How long's your break in between? Public void. So this is on collision enter. I'm not sure this works. Debug.log collision other, because this doesn't have a rigid body, but we'll see. Does a rigid body trigger on both things or just one? All right, let's add a fire platform in here. Let's come back to our game here. Oh, I destroyed that. I destroyed it. All right, let's us. All right, come on, go to the player. Here we go. We got to put this platform back in. Name you fire. Fire platform. All right, we're gonna move this guy back into the 0 position. All right, let's shrink all of these sort of down. Let's create a. I can shrink these down to 20 and move them 40, 50, 60. Oh, I'm going the wrong button. Z, -20. I'm going the right direction. Which direction do I need to move? They're all over there. They're so far away. Okay. Going back to our player. Now we're here a little bit. And I'm gonna put a little fire platform out there for me to try and jump onto just so I can trigger it. Let's get rid of this tunnel for now. Go away, you. And where's our fire platform? Fire. Bring that fire towards me. Normally, the normal recess is 10 minutes, lunch break is 30 minutes, and after 6, get 20 minutes for some reason. All right. So at least 10 minutes between. That's not horrible. That's not horrible. All right, let's go see if we can hop onto this platform and trigger. All right, hippity hop. Oh, it does. Okay. So basically, we're gonna say if the other thing is a player, how are we gonna modify that player? So let's recap. Collision. Exactly, Muniz. Collision. Got lots of collision. Let's go. Let's go with the collision. All right. Can you guys tell I'm feeling better today? My sickness seems to have left my body. I've exercised this sickness from my body. The last 2 days, my energy was really quite low, so I'm feeling great today. I'm so happy it's gone. I kept worrying it was gonna get worse. But if you just ignore being sick, it goes away. Pro tip, just ignore it. Just pretend you're not sick, unless you really are sick. All right, so our fire controller here. It's like Barney and I. Yeah. Oh, how I Met Your Mother. What a great. I haven't thought about that show in a long time. All right, so we're gonna check here. We're gonna say if the thing we're colliding with is a player controller. So a player ship controller player equals other dot get other dot game object dot get component player ship controller. I almost said Barney S. Daniel asks, have I ever told you about an RPG game I used to work on? Yeah, tell us, Daniel. I don't think you have. Tell us. Give me the skivvy. Give it to me. If player is not equal to null. So this says we are a player ship. Then, boom, player dot explode. Player dot on explode? Interesting. We'll make this public. We're just gonna cause our player to blow up. Boom, you hit that fire platform, you're dead. You're dead. Okay. Moon. Yeah. Barney, when I'm feeling sick, I just stop being sick and be awesome instead. That's a good clip. And he's like, dying. Barney was a good character. Boom, we explode when we hit it. Am I zoomed in? I'm accidentally zoomed in. All right, easy peasy on that one. So if you hit the red ones, you're done. Boom, you're done. Okay, that was easy. All right, we're gonna blow through these goals today. I have a feeling it's gonna be good, as opposed to yesterday where we got almost nothing done. Boom, fire platform, done. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, properties. Here we go. Hang on, gotta refresh that ticker. I need to make that a little bit better on the ticker to auto. It should automatically update, but for some reason it sort of stops talking with the server after a little bit. Don't quite understand that. All right, easy one there. So we got a fire platform. You touch it, you die. Okay, so the other platform. Let's see, what were the other ones? We're gonna blow through this. So that's so weird. So maybe something's up with my OBS. So it will update for like the first 5 minutes, and then it stops. It stops talking to the server. So let me ask. It might just be the server that I'm using. So I'm just using like a .NET serve to host the file. How are you hosting the file? Because you can't just use it as a raw HTML. You have to host it on a little server. I'm using .NET serve to do it. So I'm thinking maybe something with .NET serve is caching it. Oh, you can use just the raw HTML. That's interesting. For me, when I try and use the raw HTML, it yells at me. That's interesting. I'm gonna have to try that. I'm gonna have to try that. Because it should just automatically update. That's the whole thing. It should. Well, yeah. Interesting. I'm gonna have to try it. I'm gonna have to try it. I think I'm just bad. I'm just bad at life. Get rid of these extra imports here. All right, let's do a commit. We added in a fire platform plus a bunch of extra stuff, apparently. Maybe we forgot to commit yesterday. Oh, no, it's just all this extra stuff. Okay. Feature, fire platform, implement, fire platform, fire bad. All right. Yeah, so that must be it. That must be it. It's not updating because something's going on with the way I'm serving the file. So I thought when I did local file, it loaded it like a file. Anyway, I'll play with it later. Thank you, Mooniz, once again with those real pro tips. Those real pro tips. Interesting. I'll have to check it out. I don't know why I'm so bad at streaming, but I'll get better. I'll get better. I'll get good. I promise. All right, we're gonna duplicate this. Instead of a fire platform now, we're gonna have a sticky platform. Sticky platform. Let's add a sticky platform material. Platforms. All right, I'm gonna create a folder here for platform materials because it's getting a little. Yeah, I've only been streaming since I want to say since December. You know, December is when I really started streaming. I did a little bit of fiddling back in November, but I did. You know, I set a goal for myself that I wanted to. I wanted to stream all of Advent of Code, and I sort of forced myself to do that, and that was good. All right, what color should sticky be? The sticky platform. Maybe this like puke green. That looks sticky. Let's add it to our guy here. Sticky. Does that look sticky? Icky sticky. We'll get some better materials later on too. There's some great AI generated materials that I've seen. All right, so now we got to make, instead of a fire platform controller, sticky platform controller. And this is just going to cause the player to decelerate. So sticky platform controller. We're going to take our player and we're going to call, there's a couple ways we could do it. In the player controller right now, we have this decelerate. I think what we're going to do is we want to add in a method here. So I've done this stupid thing for decelerating where I've sort of copy and pasted in there. I think I want to add in a method for decelerating the player, and we just pass in the amount. So we'll do public void decelerate. Decelerate. Does decelerate have 2 L's in it or 1? 1 L. That's why it looks funny to me. Decelerate. And it's going to take in a float amount or value. And we're going to decelerate the player by that amount. So we're going to replace this and call decelerate by that amount. So this will actually decelerate the player. So we'll take out that, and this will be value instead. Value. And then down here, we actually pass it in this way. No need for extras. All right, there we go. So we're gonna decelerate when we're ramming into something, and then on when we actually decelerate here, we'll call the same thing. So this will be decelerate with this amount. That's interesting. Apparently, if you press Control X on a line, it cuts that whole line. I learned something new today in VS Code. Not so pro tip in VS Code, if you're on a line, you don't have anything selected, you press Control X, which is cut, it cuts that whole line. That is good to know. That's a new for me. Enjoy your lunch, G. Enjoy your lunch. If you don't mind me asking, what are you eating? And if you're already lurking, don't worry. I'm a bit of a foodie, so I like people to entice me with their foods. Yeah. Moon is talking about I think he made an egg sandwich yesterday. Oh, that sounded so good. I ended up making like a ramen soup with egg in it. Oh, Control C also copies the whole line? Fascinating. Control D does nothing, or at least appears to do nothing. Yeah, so I found this really good ramen noodles the other day. It's just noodles, but they sell like ramen broth as well, and so I've been making ramen. It's been good. It's because I've been semi-sick. That's cool. In like VI, Vim, Control K. Interesting. Does Control D anything? That's okay. All right. So what I was gonna do though, before I get too distracted, in our on collision here, not on collision, I went on collision stay. All right, so when our player's in this, G says, I eat a thing that like ramen, but with a kind of Italian pasta and veggies and less salt. Ooh, that sounds good. It's like an angel hair pasta, maybe like a thin Italian pasta with some like veggies. With a soup base. Nice. I finally found a good place close by that does decent ramen. The only good ramen I had before that was in Tokyo. Yeah, I want to go to Japan. I want to try real ramen. When I lived in Connecticut, there was a ramen place next to where I lived. It's like 15 minutes away walking, or maybe by bike. It wasn't that far. It's like downtown in the area I lived. And the people that owned it were from Japan. And it was the best sushi and ramen I've ever had. It was so good. And I think it was like Tuesday or Thursday night. One of those nights was like a special night where it was like $12. And I know $12 seems like a lot for ramen, but normally it was like more expensive. But it was like $12 for this amazing ramen that was just like mind-blowing. Best ramen I've ever had. And they've like spoiled ramen for me forever. Now I can get kind of close if I make my own ramen. Oh, it was so good. And the sushi was amazing there too. All right, so sticky platform rather than exploding. We're gonna do player dot. I think I need to compile this real quick. Okay, Daniel's got an update for us. Daniel's got an update. Daniel says this is about his, Daniel's RPG. A few years ago, I was participating in this thing called Ventspils IT Challenge, which happens every year. And so, and you just get like a specific thing to do. So like a task, usually a prototype of something specific. The last one I participated in, the task was to make something that would make kids learn better at school. That's a really cool task. So my club was just thinking of ideas, writing on sticky notes and putting them on a board. One of the things I wrote was a retro game or RPG. Don't quite remember. While I was looking at the idea, I chose RPG style of the game and math to make an interesting math game. So it's a run-of-the-mill JRPG game, but when you attack, you have to solve a math problem. If you answer correctly, you do the attack like normal. If you get it wrong, you don't do damage. That's a really cool idea. I like that. Sort of the edutainment, right? Did anyone ever play, when I was growing up, there was a game called Number Munchers? And like Math Blasters. These are like the edutainment games of the day. Math Blasters. I remember playing Math Blasters, which was like, sounds similar to what you're doing. It wasn't quite an RPG, but it was like a space game where you had to do math problems to destroy the things on the screen. So if you type, it'd be 0 plus 7. If you type 7, it would shoot like a missile at the thing over here that was 7. So edutainment's good. I've never seen a really, really well done one. So I think it'd be really cool to have a RPG somehow that was math based or taught you, so one of the things, the mechanic of the game needs to teach you it. So this is one of those games that was like successful in teaching kids math versus the other really popular edutainment game is the Oregon Trail, right? So the Oregon Trail was this edutainment game where, and a lot of people have played this, where you travel across the country. And unfortunately, the game didn't, there wasn't a lot of retention from the game because the act of playing the game, you don't need to learn anything to beat the game. The mechanics of the game didn't teach you a lot, except that you die of dysentery and rattlesnakes on the Oregon Trail. But there was all sorts of like information like in there, but you'd have to read. And so it turned out to be like a failure as far as like education goes. But games like Math Blasters were a little bit more effective because you had to, the mechanic of the game was to teach it. So I actually studied computer science education when I was in grad school. And edutainment is one of the most challenging areas to create for, because it's hard to get an engaging game that teaches the mechanic of the game needs to be the thing you're trying to learn. So I've always thought it'd be really cool to make a Pokemon style game where the breeding somehow involved like math and genetics, where you could learn about genetics and like how genetics works by crossbreeding different like pocket monster type creatures. But I love the idea of a JRPG where you have to do math as part of combat. You could make it like different abilities work differently. So for example, in Final Fantasy Tactics, Daniel says, I was originally making the game on a visual coding engine called GDevelop 5. It's a pretty good free and open source engine. I've never heard of GDevelop. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, so it's really, really cool. If you can make a good game that teaches stuff, it's so hard to do. That's interesting, Rave. That's interesting. Rave says, I like how Jade Cocoon did that. It kind of blended meshes and textures. They were keeping vertex arrays of each part of the creatures and kind of modifying them. So you like learn how to do Do stuff. Oh, it's for the original PlayStation. Nice. Nice. Okay. We were working on our sticky platform. Not really learning. Well, so a lot of games you end up learning stuff without even realizing it. So I do believe that Magic the Gathering, the card game, wasn't trying to teach me stuff, but it really, like, by playing it, I learned a lot of strategy and statistics just by trying building a deck. It's like, okay, how do I get to this card? What are things I can do? I love Magic the Gathering for that. And also, I think it taught me a lot of vocabulary. That game did not, especially the older cards, did not go light on like the vocabulary and weirdness. So like juxtaposition. What the first time I ever heard the word juxtaposition was in Magic the Gathering. It's like, what is that word? And it like forced me to like read about and learn it. Moonus says, back in 2013, I started making an ARPG for smartphones, where I made an attack system work as a skill tree based on timings. It's a cool thing where you could combo skills in a tree you had built yourself. Didn't get very far in it though, but I have an image of how it looks. Cool. Cool. Let's check it out. If you send a link, I'll take a look. Sticky platform needs to slow the player down. All right, so this is interesting. This is interesting because I need to be careful now. I didn't think about this. On collision stay. Is this happening? When is on collision stay called? Let's go look at the documentation. Is this in a frame? On collision stay. The other thing I'm curious about is, do we actually do on collision enter before on collision stay? Or if I do it, or is it immediately at the same time? Like, is there a frame where it does on collision enter and then the next frame is on collision stay? On collision stay is called once per frame for every collider or rigid body that touches another collider or rigid body. So this is once per frame. So I would want to do it based on time.delta time, not fixed time. In contrast to on trigger stay, on collision stay is past the collision class and not a collider. The collision class contains information about contact points, impact velocity, etc. If you don't use collision info in the function, leave out the collision info parameter, as this avoids unnecessary calculations. Ooh, you can. This is optional if you're not using. Well, I need to get the other game object. If you don't use collision in the function, leave out the collision info parameter. Collision info parameter. As it avoids unnecessary calculations. Notes, collision events are only sent if one of the colliders also has a non-kinematic rigid body attached. Collision events are sent to disabled mono behaviors. Interesting. To allow enabling behaviors in response to collision, collision stay events are not for sleeping rigid bodies. So should I switch? That's interesting. Maybe I should switch these to triggers so that I don't have to calculate the collision info. Because I don't really care about the collision, I just care that I'm in it. So it might actually be that this should be a trigger. Oh, but then I'd fall through, right? That's interesting. I have to do some research about that. Or is it that collision? That's interesting. Leave that out, but then how do I detect what the other body was? I do need to detect the other thing there. But we're gonna do player.decelerate. All right, this is once per frame. So let's add in a sticky level, serialized field. Private float stickiness. Stickiness equals let's go with 5. All right, so we're gonna decelerate. It's gonna take in stickiness times times what? Times time dot delta time. So it's once per frame. And in our player, one sec. Let's look at decelerate here. Yeah, we subtract that value and then we sort of clamp it. All right, let's check it out. All right, let's add in our sticky icky platform. Prefabs, obstacles, sticky platform. It's interesting that the picture hasn't updated. We're gonna add that in. I'm gonna create an empty here called platforms. And I'm gonna rename this one to obstacles. And we can sort of keep these separated a little bit. All right, let's add a sticky platform. We got a couple of these. Move it in here. Put it at position 1, maybe? All right, we're gonna put a few of these just so we can feel the difference a little bit. Let's do -60. Nope, -70. Apparently all of these need to be lined up a little better. Let's do -90, -70, 2. Moon has posted the image on Discord with a bit of an explanation. Since it's not very intuitive, no need to check it out now though. Cool. I'm looking forward to taking a look at it. And anyone who's not on the Discord, be sure to join in if you'd like to participate a little bit outside of stream. Ask questions. We got a nice little community forming there. You can ask me questions there. I try to answer them. Sometimes I answer them on stream. Give me some suggestions. I love it. I love it. But no pressure. If you're not interested in joining, I'm not going to force you to join. But if you'd like to join, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, if you like hanging out, chatting with us, don't hesitate to join in there. Lots of cool people, lots and lots of cool people. All right, let's put one next to here. Let's put one of these in -73, so we can like drive on and off of it. Let's check out our deceleration. All right, let's drive into it. Here we go. Well, that's not what I wanted. You're not a fire platform. You should be a sticky platform. All right, let's try again. Daniel says, so more about the fighting system. Depending on the attacks you use, the problem will get harder. Depends on the attack of the attacks. So magic attacks will do more damage than regular attacks earlier in the game. So the math will be a bit harder. If you answer incorrectly, you are the one that loses hit points. And for special attacks, you haven't thought about that yet. That's cool. Jackie waving with the crazy waving icon. Thank you for waving in. Welcome aboard. It's nice to see you. Is that Jake the dog? It looks like Jake the dog. I'm not sure if it does. It's not Jake the dog. If I do a closer inspection, it's some sort of fancy creature. But hello, Jackie. Welcome back. Welcome aboard. I can't move my chat. Okay, there it goes. I think I missed your EOD message. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I might have missed it. What does EOD mean? Sorry. I think you missed on EOD my messages. I'm sorry, Daniel. I didn't mean to. Unintentional. One of your messages. Oh, probably. Probably. There's a lot going on. I'm sorry if I missed one. I apologize. But I appreciate you telling me about your game. I want to see that. I think that's such a cool thing. I'm doing a game jam. I'm running a game jam this summer. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I need to get a bookmark for it. But I'm running a game jam this summer. It's Captain Coder's Learn You a Pixels jam. I'm not sure if I need to change it a little bit. But the idea is I want an educational game jam where you're not necessarily teaching someone something, but the goal is for you to learn something, right? So let me find my thing here. I need to figure out the prizes a little bit more. I might drop the prizes off of it. I feel a little bad. Captain Coders, learn you a Pixels Jam. So the idea is it's pixel-based game jam, 2D pixels, or pixel shaders, pixel textures. Captain Coders, learn you a Pixels Jam. This summer, in June, after my semester ends, I want to run this. The idea, though, is that you should create a devlog, blog, or vlog about what you learned. The whole idea is for you to learn something during the game jam, and then share what you learned and how you learned it, and maybe give some resources for other people. And I'm gonna have prizes. I need to figure out how to change this so that way I can give prizes outside of the USA. Right now, the way my company is, I can't. It's a lot harder to give prizes outside of USA. But the most educational is gonna be judged on people who submit vlogs about what they did. Not vlogs, blog, or just a devlog about what you learned. And whoever I think is the most educational, I'm bringing some guest judges to judge with me. We are gonna give you a $250 prize. All right, hopefully I can get it out of this like prepaid Visa card thing. But I'm trying to figure that. But that said, I'm excited. I'd love to see some educational games inside of that. That'd be super cool. But that'll be coming up this summer. More as I figure out more, I'll be giving more information. But let's try the sticky platform one more time. All right, let's see. Do I slow down? Ooh, the rate of deceleration needs to be far bigger. Yeah, it's a while away. I decided, I've been wanting to run one for a long time. Let's try 20. Oh, interesting. I didn't even know it was Father's Day. That's the week after my my school year ends, so I'll have time then. There we go. All right, so it does decelerate. Oh, and then we died. It does. So it slows you down. So like now we're set where it does slow you down. We just got to make it a little bit stronger. So it doesn't stop you immediately. There we go. So now I can't move forward. I could jump and try and move, but basically I'm gonna have to get off of it to move again. There we go. Is there a difference if you accelerate while you slowing down? There is. So you'll be fighting it a little bit, but the idea is the stickiness is so strong. So like I'm accelerating here, it slows me down. So there's a minor difference because my player's acceleration speed is 10, right? So you'll be fighting it a little bit. So if I jump, I can start moving a little bit again. And so this is the same sort of thing in Skyroads. You sort of like jump. You can. In Skyroads, that's the same thing. So you could like jump through it. I think Skyroads works the same way. Yeah. So not a huge. All right. So we got sticky roads. And we can adjust the stickiness. We're going to set the default stickiness to 40. We might have to adjust it up. Oh, you can't move forward in Skyroads when you're jumping? Are you sure? You can move in the air in Skyroads? We're going to have to check this out. Mr. Mooniz, you probably know better than I do. It sounds like you've been playing Skyroads. All right, come on, baby. We're gonna check this out. All right. No, I can totally accelerate in air. Watch. When I'm in the air, I'm gonna press the forward button. I can totally accelerate while I'm in the air. Or do you mean specifically if I'm over one of the like slow you down platforms? I can steer in the air too. Watch. You can. It's just steering is super slow in the game. You don't notice it. You can steer in the air. All right. No worries. I just wanted to double check. It's Mario physics jumping. I think in general, the steering in Skyroad is very, very slow in general. All right. In my version, I think steering's just a little too fast. Might have to shrink it down a little bit. Good points though. Good. Thank you for keeping me honest, Mooniz. Thank you for keeping me honest. Daniel, sorry, I missed that message too. Let's see, what did Daniel say after GD developed? Scrolling up. I was originally making the game on a visual coding engine called GDevelop 5. It's a pretty good free and open source engine, but after some time, it was just getting harder and harder to work on because of the simplicity, so you moved to RPG Maker. I've actually used RPG Maker. Really, really cool tool. I taught a summer class probably like 6 years ago in RPG Maker. I'm by no means an expert, but it's such a fun tool to like empower kids, to empower not even just kids, but empower people to learn a little bit about coding. All right, so we have finished our sticky platform. Let us update. Let us update. Sticky, icky platforms. Now we got a boost platform. Sticky platform done. All right, we're gonna have to hit that refresh button because of sadness. All right, but the sticky platform decelerates the player. Nice. All right, the next one we want a boost platform. The boost platform. It's a boost to the player. All right. Boost the player. Let's get a new material. Boost material. What color is boost? I was thinking yellow. Yellow's a nice boosty color. Mr. Natural says all the cool kids are on Twitch and Discord. That's true. If you're a cool kid, then you're on Twitch and Discord. Says Mr. Natural from YouTube. I used RPG Maker MZ. Currently, the latest one they are working on, a Unity-based RPG Maker. Interesting. I only ever used, I think RPG Maker MZ is what I used as well. All right, let's add in our boost material. I want it to be brighter. That yellow is not bright enough. Is there a brighter yellow color? Maybe not. All right, we want it to be as yellow as possible. Okay, that's as yellow as it gets. There we go. Add emission on the material. Where's the emission button? Emission. Check. Oh, does this require me to do HDR? I'm gonna have to look in. I'm gonna have to do some research on what that does. So I don't know that. I don't think HDR works on WebGL. Ooh, that does make it brighter. All right, we're just gonna go with that for now because the brightness I likes it. All right, and we're gonna make a new. I could be wrong on HDR. It might be UDR that doesn't work on WebGL. I don't know these things. I don't know the things with the stuff about the places that we're doing. All right, boost platform controller. We could make a really general. The other thing is, you know, I'm copying each one of these, not necessarily copying. No worries. I like the WebGL because it's really easy for my students to share with each other when they build it. That's the main reason I like doing the WebGL, is they build it and then I can create another website that has like an index that links to all of the games, and then I share it with the other students at the school, right? So WebGL is sort of important to me in that regard. Then no one has to download stuff. Something I could do is I can make a generic platform that does all of this stuff, and then you can like configure it this way. But I know what I want ahead of time, so I'm not making it generalized. And the not generalized version is actually making my code simpler. Boost. All right, so the boost is scary because it can actually make you go super fast, super quickly. So we're gonna boost in the opposite direction. And so similar, we want to add just as we have a decelerate, we're gonna add in, well, we're gonna add in an accelerate one. Let's, before we forget here, let us remove the sticky controller and give it the boost. Oh, hang on. Boost platform controller? Stickiness? This should be boostiness. Should it be boostiness? Boostiness. The opposite of stickiness is boostiness, you know. Daniel says, the engine is good on all but one thing. I don't like one thing. I don't like about it. One thing I don't like about it is that 95% of the extensions are paid. I shouldn't be mad about the actual engine, but that, yeah, sometimes that can be frustrating when things are paid for. Getting, you know, finding nice open source tools. You could say the same thing about Unity, right? There's a lot of free stuff for Unity, but a lot of the really, really cool extensions are paid, and some of them are really expensive. That said, supporting those indie developers is nice. I've bought stuff off the Unity store before. But yeah, you gotta make money somehow, I suppose. It's all about the licensing. It's all about the licensing, though. Boost. Oh yeah, I was adding in the boost platform controller, and we got our 40 boostiness. I could do a little hack, right? Instead of decelerate, I do accelerate is just a negative decelerate. But we're gonna add in for clarity. We're gonna add in for clarity and accelerate, which works this way. Instead of subtracting, it adds in the value. All right, pretty simple. And this is a one-liner, so we're gonna use the what is this? The expression body definition syntax. I like that. No one knows what that. No one has ever said those words before except for me, but they're written down on the C# documentation. This little forward arrow, I always call it a lambda. I always call it a lambda expression, but it's called the body expression definition. I think. All right. Before I go saying those things, let's look it up. C# body definition expression. Yeah, expression bodied members. Expression body definition is this for whatever. Expression body definition lets you provide member information in a very concise, readable form. Right. Look, very concise, readable form. Accelerate and decelerate, one-liners. We don't need all those. We don't need no stinking curly braces. We're just gonna go straight for it. Definitely an expression with a body. Look at that body. That's a nice body. That body is so nice. All right, let us continue here. All right, we got our sticky, we got our boost platform. Let's test out the boost platform. And so we're gonna do something sneaky where the boost platform goes into a fire platform, because that's evil. And we are evil. All right, let's go to our prefabs. We got our obstacles. We're gonna add in a boost platform here. The boosty boy. And we're at like -70, right? There we go. All right, so the boost platform is going to go straight into our fire platform, which should be at, that one's at -7, this one should be at -60, -50. All right, so that's the evil thing to do, is have your boost platform cause the player to die if they ride it -1. Let's boost it up. Boost it up. Give that player super boost. -3. All right, and then let's add a couple more fire platforms here. -1. Oops. -1. Fun fact, did you know you can do math in here? So if I have position -1, if I put it -1 and press enter, it does the math for you. Did you know that? Did you know that -2, I want to do -1, boom, it does the math for you. You can put little math calculations in there. Can you do linear equations? Can I put like a +x? Oh, interesting. Ooh, I could do a +y, so whatever the value y is. Ooh, that's interesting. I didn't know you could do that. You can put variables in there that I assume have to come off of this phrase. The Boosty Boys, says Mr. Natural. Yes. Yes, welcome to the Boosty Boys. All right, here we're gonna slowly come in here and go. All right, boost. We go. Oh, well, that was disappointing. Should probably call it accelerate. Even randomize and align stuff. I don't quite understand what Unity Coder, what you're trying to express to me. And some align stuff. Even randomize and some. I think, are you saying that we can do a random in there? Can I do like a math.random? Plus math. I can't do a capital M. It won't let me type. Let me put some letters in there. Capital M it doesn't like. Lowercase m it doesn't like. Oh. L -5 to 5. Let's try again. 0 happens to fall in there. L -5 to -3. Ooh, that's fancy. That's fancy. If I do it on multiple objects, oh, this is interesting. Let's do it on all our Fire platforms here. L -5 to 5. That is cool. All right, let's undo it. That's not what I want. You learn something new. Well, you don't learn something new every day, but you can learn something new every day. That's cool. We've got value. Oh, that's fancy. That's fancy. That's fancy smancy. That's really cool. Thank you so much for sharing that. R for random, yeah. Wow. I knew you could do a little bit of math in there. Because I've done the math part, but I've always been like, can I do that? All right, I gotta read more. I gotta read more of this stuff. Thank you, Unity Coder Mooniz. Thank you so much for that. For your assistance, for such a great share. Have 100 points. Oh, hang on. Edit points, username. Oh, I did it backwards. Hang on, let me try again. We gotta swap that out there. Unity Coder gets 100 points. Ooh, you're getting a lot of points. Mooniz, for your assistance. Here's 100 points. There you go. Nick and neck for that first place slot, I see. But thank you so much for that information. I very much appreciate it. And I was calling decelerate. We've switched it to accelerate. Let's see how we do. We're gonna ease our way in here and then... Oh my God. What a trap. Straight into it. All right, so we won't be able to slow down when we're on it. That's the important key there. So when you're on the accelerator, you can't slow down. All right. Yeah, it's the worst platforms. You have no control on the accelerator. I almost need to make it so that way you can go faster than the default speed. Is that the case on those? You can go faster? No, I think it just accelerates you to the max. Because in Sky Roads, I often, want to drive a little bit slower than max. If I'm hopping on it, I want it to accelerate me even if I'm like sort of hopping on it. So I think I might need to make it go even faster. I think I'm gonna change the prefab here to make it just like super fast. Make it super fast. So that way if you're hopping on, you still get to the max essentially immediately. Need to add a little meter for our all right, there we go. Super boost. All right, I like it. Okay. All right, so much progress in that first hour here. Excellent. Now I'm gonna figure out how to make our ship bounce. We're just like a Bumble. Did you know about Bumbles bounce? Fun fact, Bumbles bounce. Yeah, max is usually fast enough in Skyroads for sure. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is try and add in a bounce here. So we've got our platform. Let's do another commit. We added in feature, implement, sticky, and boost platforms. Excellent. Go ahead and sync that up. All right, we've been going for an hour. We're about to switch a little bit here. I know I normally go a little bit longer, but I'm gonna take a break. I am out of coffee. I'm all coffeeed up. I am out. Well, I have a little bit of water, but I'm almost out of water. Balance is a little bit different here than previous than what we were doing before. So it's gonna be a new topic, and I think it might take me a little while to figure out. Might be quick, but I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be back, I promise. Don't fret. I shall return, but it's time for coffee. Go ahead, if you haven't done so, if you'd like to join the Discord, if you'd like to communicate with me, if you want to join the community, great little community growing, join the Discord, ask your questions, give me some recommendations. I'd love to hear your thoughts. It's hard for me to remember them when you ask on the stream. If you'd like to join that Discord while I'm getting some coffee, I'll wave hello to you. All right. See you in a moment. All right. I have returned. I am so sorry to have abandoned you briefly for my coffee, but it is a necessary evil. Because I gotta fuel, right? If you want to be a programmer, you gotta fuel like a programmer. You gotta convert that caffeine into code. Insert caffeine, output code. So, as many of you know, I like to stretch, keep my body fresh. So, welcome back, Mr. Natural. Welcome to Twitch, my friend. You're halfway to the cool kids. Halfway to the cool kids. Mr. Natural was on YouTube, has transitioned to Twitch, so he's with the cool kids now. Not to say that YouTube, you can be cool on YouTube too, but the cool kids are on Twitch and Discord. So, welcome to Twitch, my friend. But we're going to do a little bit of stretching, keep ourselves fresh. In addition to fueling like a programmer, you want to keep your body in shape. As a programmer, you deal a lot of damage to yourself sitting hunched over in your dark cave, as is tradition. As is tradition in your basement, avoiding the sunlight. I dislike, the light burning me as much as the next person. But we're gonna do some stretches here. We're gonna keep ourselves nice. This is one of my favorite stretches. I have carpal tunnel in my right hand. It's horrible. It's horrible, but I have a nice ergonomic keyboard, takes care of it. But if you want to avoid that, you want to stop your work every 60 minutes to 1 to 2 hours. Take a nice stretch. So if you would, please stand on up. Let's get some stretches. Get that blood flowing. We're gonna do some stretches here. We're gonna stretch out our forearm here. Go ahead and put your hand forward. Grab the tips of your fingers and pull them back. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. Don't want to hurt yourself. Just feel that stretch right here. We're gonna do this for 30 seconds. So if you would please join me. If you're at work, get your coworkers to join you too. Let them know, hey, it's stretching time. Take care of your body. Come on, guy. Be good to yourself. Care about your body. Get that stretch in. Get that arm nice and straight. Don't lock that arm. Get it nice and straight so you can get a nice stretch in. Ooh, doesn't that feel good? Doesn't it feel great? Another 5 seconds here. And then we're going to switch. We're going to switch. We're going to do the opposite stretch here. Oh, shake it out. Just feel good. We're going to stretch the top part now. Go ahead and put those fingers down and pull slightly. If you feel pain, you're doing it too hard. You shouldn't feel pain, but you should feel a nice little stretch there. 30 seconds on this one. Now we're going to switch to our left hand. It's my right hand here. You might have started on your left hand, and then that means you'll switch to your right hand. All right, just a nice little stretch. Get yourself a little bit limbered, taking care of yourself. Should feel good. Feel good. At the very least, you can say, hey, I did something for myself today. I stretched. I took care of my body. And that's what you want to do. You want to be happy. You want to love yourself. You want to love yourself. Ooh, okay. Shake it out. Nice 30 seconds here. We're going to switch to the other arm. Other arm. You should feel it right here on this one. Go ahead and pull those fingertips back towards yourself. Oh, doesn't it feel great? Doesn't that stretch feel wonderful? If it doesn't feel wonderful, if it hurts, you're pulling too hard. Just get a nice little gentle stretch there on you. We're going to go another 10 seconds here, and then we're going to switch down. And thank you, everyone, for hanging out with me. I hope you're stretching. I hope you're enjoying this. If you're not stretching, at the very least, I hope you're not putting too much stress on your body. All right, let's switch down now. Shake it out a little bit, and then we're going to pull down. Once again, don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself. No reason to hurt yourself. Be kind to yourself. Love yourself. Give yourself some love. Give yourself a nice big hug here in a second. Another 10 seconds on this one. Just feel this on the top of that forearm. What's that muscle called? Not the forearm, the top part of your arm. Ooh, yeah, that's good. All right, shake it out a little bit. Get the blood flowing to those fingertips. Nice. Give yourself, we're going to do a little stretch here. Give yourself a nice big hug. Love yourself the way you deserve to be loved. Don't you deserve to be loved? Oh, squeeze it in nice and tight. Should feel that in your shoulder blades on the back there. Oh, it should feel nice. Should feel nice. All right. And give it a little bit of release there. All right, we're going to stretch up. You can raise your hands up above your head. Reach up as high as you can. Get up on those tippy toes and just feel your body extend between the floor and the ceiling. See if you can touch the ceiling. Oh, and hold it. Hold it another 8 seconds here. Give your body some love. And down. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining me in that stretch. If you did, we're going to hop back into SkyDriver here. But for hanging out with me, keeping me company, hopefully stretching. I didn't see a whole lot of typing during that, so I hope you were stretching with me, which I think would be wonderful. But I'm going to go ahead and give everyone here 50 points for hanging out, getting that nice stretch in. All 16 of you. All 16 of you, thank you so much for being here today. We love you. I hope you love you. And let's get back into it. Another benefit of stretching when I get my coffee is it gives it a chance to cool down to drinkable temperature so I don't hurt myself. Got some Don Francisco vanilla bean coffee. Black, no cream, no sugar. Delicious. Just a hint of goodness. All right, what are we doing next? We are going to try and add in a bounce, which I don't think will be that hard. I think we can use a physics element to do this. So this is a good spot to use a physics material. I think we can add a bounciness just to our ship. So I'm hoping it'll be easy enough that in our player prefab, let's go to our prefabs here. Let's open up our player ship. I'm hoping it's as easy as on the, actually, I think the part that's touching the ground is actually our floating collider. So this part's actually on the ground. I'm hoping it's, and I have it turned off. Interesting. Maybe I want it off. Maybe we don't need that. Does it look good without that? Maybe we don't need it. Yeah, I think I'm happy without it. Maybe we don't need it. And then it won't cause us troubles. That's interesting that I hopped there. Interesting. There's some unevenness. I might need to add in like one big layer or something that sort of meshes across them to create the platforms. It's okay though. Not going to worry about it. Because one thing I've noticed is when I go side to side, sometimes I sort of shimmy up and down. So like I kind of got caught there. Did you see me get caught there? Sometimes you get caught between them. I think I might want to add, didn't mean to fall off. I think I might want to add in a one big smooth platform that goes across to all of them. So that way it's not, see like that's a little bit troublesome when I get caught down that little lip. But maybe if I turn on my floating thing, that won't happen. If I make them a little thicker. See how I got caught there? I think I need to add a little bit of a full platform that sort of covers all of them. One big mesh, and figure out how to group them together somehow. Let's turn off our floating collider. I think on my player ship, I think I like it not floating. I'm not sure. We're gonna give ourselves a little bit of a bouncy physics material. So I think all I need to do is create a material for our ship. All right, so let's go to materials. Create a folder here for our player ship. And we'll move, we have a ship material here. And let's give it some bounciness. I'm kind of curious if this is all I gotta do to give us some bounciness. Is instead of my friction material, I'll do my ship material here. I've never done this, so I'm curious if this will give it a bounce. Oh, that's all I gotta do. I didn't know if that was all we had to do. I like that. Look at that. That was easy. But yeah, notice there's like the little lip between these different platforms here. That's a little bit annoying. We'll have to figure out how to clean that up a little bit later. All right, I'm gonna add that to my to-do though. The bounciness was easy. I did not realize how easy. I kind of thought it might be easy, but I didn't know. It's a brand new thing for me. Let's go to our to-dos here. All right. We can start crossing some things off here. Got different platforms. Got an exit condition done. Let's add in here collision lip between different platforms is awkward. Consider adding in one big square mesh one big box mesh over connected platforms. All right, so I'm not quite sure how to do that either, but we're going to consider in one big box mesh over all of the platforms to keep, so that we don't like have that lip moving between them. Especially now that we've added the bounce in, that's a little bit awkward. Adding the bounce was super easy though. Could have done that ahead of time. Yeah, so we're cruising along here, making good progress. So we added a bounce. That was easy peasy for us. Easy peasy. Okay. So we're gonna add in some particles. Let's go ahead and save the scene. We got our bounciness, works pretty beautifully. Feature, add bounciness to player ship. I like it. Super easy to get in. All right, so now we're gonna add in sort of an explosion. I like that, that's great. Watch this lip though. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. It's fascinating. So the lip there, when I hit that platform, if I'm like sort of straddling it. So I'm not pressing jump, but there's a little bit of a lip that can happen. So it's a little bit annoying. We'll have to figure out how to deal with that. And instead, these might be triggers that sort of come through the ground from underneath. But sort of if you have platforms next to each other, I think we can detect that and build a mesh that sort of goes around all of them, which will be a fun little algorithm to write, I think. If anyone knows any better than me of how a better way to do that, let me know. But yeah, our platforms right now, they're sort of like the box client. Code Rad Games, happy Wednesday, my friend. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Everyone, go check out Code Rad Games real quick. Gotta give a shout out to Code Rad Games. Code Rad Games is a real game developer. Real quick, if you're lurking, come on back in that chat. Hit that little love button. Give Code Rad Games some loves. If you like Souls-like games, Code Rad Games got a game just for you. Roguelite. I'm gonna go wishlist it. Go check it out. Roguelite on Steam. Check him out. You gotta do it. You gotta get it. You gotta wishlist this game. And Code Rad, you gotta get this out. What are you waiting for? You gotta get it out for us to play. We need to play it. I need it yesterday. Things are going good, Code Rad Games. Thanks for popping in. Be sure to wishlist Roguelite. Looks awesome. If you like Souls-like games, Salt and Sanctuary, Dark Souls, go get it. Roguelite type game called Roguelite. Going well. We are working on a Skyroads inspired game here. We've got a ship. We've got different platforms. We got this platform is sticky. It stops you. This platform accelerates you, and that red one destroys you. All right, so that's sort of what we got going on so far. We've got it moving around. We are gonna add in an explosion animation. We're gonna add some particles to our ship when we explode here, which I think shouldn't be too hard. It shouldn't be too hard. So that's what we're gonna do. The way I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add in on the player. But we disabled the player. Gotta have it. That's right, roguelike games. Beautiful roguelike games. We're gonna try and add in a little explosion for our ship when we die. So my original thought was that I would add in, so right now when we die, the way it works, it disables the player here. But I think what we need to do, so it disables the player, the whole player. I think really what we want to do is we want to disable the player ship instead and enable like an explosion. Rouge, yeah. Oh yeah, I gotta have it. Love Rouge-like games. Remember, Rouge is a cosmetic item. Good point, G. Mr. Natural, do you like cosmetic games? Is that what you're describing? Or was that a typo? I think it was a typo. All right, let's hop in here. We are gonna go to our player ship controller. Getting a little messy. We're gonna clean up this code before we turn it into a project for our students. It's not crazy messy, but it's pretty long. So we probably want to actually, separate this out into different components. There's a lot of things going on in here. It'd be nice to separate these. Mr. Natural likes both. Mr. Natural likes both. Both roguelike games and rouge-like games. Not heavy rouge games though. Just the light rouge games. Okay. What was I doing? Ah, yes. When we explode. Instead of disabling the player, we're gonna find the player ship inside. All right. So we're gonna add in a little field in here. Notice how big this class is gonna. We gotta separate this out into separate things. So this is gonna be our private game object player model, like this. So we can sort of set that. So when we die, it's going to set the player model to be off. It's going to end up disabling some of the colliders. So I'm a little curious how that's going to interact with it. But our player model is the player ship, so we can add that in there. And then when we explode, all right, so when we explode, rather than setting the game objects off, we're going to player model off. There's another couple spots where we set game object dot set active. It should be player model active, set active, exit level, player model dot set active, set active. All right, so rather than doing the game object, we're setting the model to be on or off. So that way we can put an explosion thing in there. All right, so I think what's interesting about that now when we exit the level, all right, we should sort of, you keep, the acceleration keeps going to the end of the level, which is interesting. So we might want to also sort of when we explode, on the exiting the level, I like it to keep moving, but on the explosion, we might want to explode. Set our speed is equal to 0. So when you explode, boom, it's over. Sort of what I thought would happen, which is kind of cool. It's sort of what I want. So when you exit the level, you sort of keep flying. All right. Alternatively, we could set it to like is decelerating equals true. I'm curious if I could do that. I'm not 100% sure because we'll be handling the deceleration. And when we start, hang on. Where's reset? Reset. Is jumping equals false, is accelerating equals false, is decelerating equals false. Sort of reset ourselves here. Give this a shot. And now when I explode, I won't go forever, but I go for a little bit. No. Interesting here. Is decelerating. When I explode, I want it to be decelerating. But it's like sort of setting it back to false or something. So my guess is that is decelerating is getting reset somewhere. So I might want to do something where we just sort of say that I I want it to slow down when we explode. I don't want it to be instant, but I want it to slow down. Maybe I come in here, add in another Boolean. Private bool is exploded. So here we'd say is exploded is false. Adding a lot of state here, which is, this is a little bit of a code smell. Our code's getting complex with lots of Boolean flag and stuff. This is telling me that I should probably separate these things. And so I think we're going to go in and do a refactor here soon, once I get this going. It's not so bad yet, but explode, rather than being is design, this can be is exploded equals true. But when we exit the level, all right, so decelerate's gonna check a thing here. Tech Papa, welcome aboard, my friend. Happy Wednesday. Welcome aboard. Be sure, just so you know, you may be new here. It's the first time following. You may be new here. I'm Captain Coder. I am a computer science educator. Do not hesitate to ask me questions, but welcome aboard. So happy to have you here. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream enough to click that follow button. Welcome aboard, my friend. Welcome aboard. How are you doing today? I'd love to know. So, if we is exploded, we're gonna decelerate like this. So if we are exploded, we always decelerate. Let's give it a shot. Let's try and die. Let's go blow up. Smash. Why is, okay, it does slow down. It does slow down. Let's decelerate twice as fast. Tech Papa says, Tech Papa says, thank you very much for the nice welcome. Everything is great with me. I also work in the home office right now. Good. I work from home too. This is my home office. Welcome to my home. I hope you have many viewing options when it comes to game development and learning streams. Thank you for choosing Captain Coder's Academy. Do slow down. I want it to decelerate faster. Let's try 8 times. But yeah, I'm so happy to have you here. As always, you know, I repeat myself a lot. You'll find that I'm a repeater. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. There we go. I like that. I like that speed of a stop. So if we go from our max to, okay, beautiful. Beautiful, maybe even a little bit less. But let's add in an explosion here. We're gonna add in some particle effects for our explosion. And I'm not so great at the particle effect. We're gonna create a particle effect here. Explosion. All right, and we're gonna attach to this some effects particle system. All right, we're gonna add a particle system to it that will appear inside. The idea is we'll enable this. It's not gonna be looping. Let's go to our scene here. Can leave it looping for now, so while we figure it out, but player ship. Particle system play. All right, so let's make it a nice explosion red color. It's gonna be quick, 2 seconds. 2 seconds might be too long. Let's do 1 second. Restart, boom. All right, can we increase the amount that comes out of it? Rate over time, if I do 100. That's pretty good. Shape, we do a sphere, play. Ooh. Ooh, I like that. Boom. Ooh, I like it. I like it. That's easy. That's not too bad at all. Maybe even 1,000 particles. Ooh, that might be too many. Let's go with 500. Can we mix up the colors? Can we make the colors sort of random or like change as we go out? Color, let's see here. Shape, velocity over time, lifetime emitter, color, by speed. I want to do random color and sort of have a range of colors. Start color. Delta time. Color over lifetime might be the way to go. And so we could go from our red color to a orange color like this. What does that look like? Life is too long. Duration 0.5. You don't even get to see it change colors. I'm not even sure that it is changing color. Let's go with a different. Let's make it go to invisible. So we might just make it a little bit more expressive on what we're seeing. It is fading out. It is changing. I think I might need to make it so that the color changes sooner. That's what it is. Color needs to change sooner. Let's try that. And maybe more drastic. Let's try yellow. Yellow. I can't tell if it's actually changing. Start delay, start lifetime. Here we go, 0.5. That's gonna be our explosion. All right, let's give that a shot. We're gonna make it so that this will be enabled. It starts off disabled, and we sort of enable it when the player dies. We might need to spawn it into existence when the player dies as well. But we're going to do the following. Serialize private game object explosion. And we're going to sort of just turn, we enable it when we get explode. So on explode, when we reset, we'll do player model, oh, sorry, not player model, explosion.set active false. So I'm a little and then explode, this will be our explosion.set active true. When we explode here, we're going to set it true. And we got to link it up here. We're going to link that in, our explosion. So when we explode, it should turn on, and we'll keep moving just for a little bit. All right, let's test it out. It's not bad. Okay, that sort of works. It's not too horrible. I want I would like it to be a little bit more colorful though. I don't like how this color over time doesn't seem to, color over lifetime doesn't seem to be doing what I want. Which is interesting. Play on wake, good. That's what we wanted. Custom data. Interesting. Color over lifetime. 1 second here. Can I make this thing? For now, let's make it loop. So that I can just like watch the colors change. Yeah, the colors aren't changing at all. If I change the start color here. It doesn't seem to be getting the color at all from there. All right, okay, all right. It seems like I got to do it this way. Here we go. I set the color to white. And then we'll go red to orange. There we go. Sorry, I'm so bad at pronouncing names, but Sharia on YouTube. Thank you. I am trying to make good games. I'm trying to make projects. And Smab, happy Wednesday. Happy to have you here. I'm feeling much better. I hope you can feel it and you can feel my energy today. You know, so I decided I wasn't going to be sick anymore, and poof, it was gone. I'm feeling much better. How are you today, Smab? It's so nice to see you. Good morning. Or good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you, Smab. Explosion here. We're going to turn off the loop now. So if we hit play, boom. All right, what does that look like in game? Let's check it out. Oh, the explosion is going to come on immediately. Boom. That's not bad. It's not bad. So when we explode, well, it was already enabled, so it couldn't enable it again. Let's try again. And zoop. That looks pretty good. We do end up falling, so our ship ends up sliding off the edge and falling down, and the explosion follows us, which looks pretty cool. If we don't slide off, good for you, Smab. Smab volunteering playing some table tennis. I love it. Like that. This looks good. All right, so I think I want the explosion to be. I'm really happy with it, actually. I think I'm gonna leave it there. I'm pretty happy with it. We did learn that setting the start color to white, so then that sort of applies that to our color over time there. Good for you for volunteering with the table tennis. I love that. I love that. Okay, so we managed to get an explosion in here. We've got, I think that's all of the things that we wanted to do. Unlike yesterday where we got almost nothing done, today we managed to get all of our things done essentially in the first 2 hours, which I'm very, very happy about. I'm very, very happy about it. So, let's do a commit real quick. We added in very simple particle system. Feature, add explosion particles. Beautiful, we'll sync that up. So what do we want to do next? Since we got all of our bonus features done, what are we going to do now? There's lots of things. Let's go look at our to-do list. Let's look at our to-do list. Ooh, adding a background seems like a good idea. We got explode on crash done. Adding in fuel and oxygen is a thing that we could do as well. HUD feels like a lot of effort. I need to get an actual... I don't think I can generate images for that, so I think I'm going to delay that while I can actually make a HUD or find a nice HUD somewhere. I think searching for the HUD might not be so much fun for you guys to watch me struggle. Watching me struggle to build a hub. A HUD, not a hub. But this text file to level conversion I think would be really cool to do. So my idea, what I'd like to be able to do is have levels defined as a text file and it gets loaded in nicely, so I don't have to like manually place all my things on a map. Instead, I could just sort of draw my level out in a text file. So I think that might be what I work on. Either that or maybe I should refactor this into different components. Because right now this is one sort of gnarly... It's not horrible, but it's on its way to being horrible. It's on its way to being horrible. If we're following solid principles, each class should sort of be responsible for one thing. And right now our player ship controller is responsible for controlling the ship, but it controls an awful lot of things. It might be nice to break this up into different little components that the player controller happens to be aware of, all of them. And so, you know, our player velocity controller controls the player moving, our player jump controller, our player explosion controller, all of these little things, so we can isolate it and then write tests for it. Probably want to write tests for it. I want to also at some point explore how to do unit testing with scene elements, like play mode tests. I know that we can do that, but I'm not sure how to do it well. But I think it might be nice to break this into a couple different controllers, because we got a lot of different fields in here doing lots of different things, and that adds a lot of complexity. Especially as we continue, it's going to be adding more and more complexity. But let's look at our to-do list. Close others. What do we... I think it would be fun. Oh yeah, we're gonna generate a background image for our game first. Generate a nice background, slap it in there. Let's try Leonardo AI. Let's try out some Leonardo AI. Am I logged into Leonardo AI yet? Give me a second here. If someone would like to give me a prompt to give Leonardo AI, go ahead and start thinking of it now. But we want to generate sort of a spacey background in the vein of, in the style of Skyroads. So each level in Skyroads has a different background. That's sort of, you know, maybe a little trippy, but each one, we have different backgrounds like this. So we got the red heat background like that. We've got into the sun. So we're going to generate some art to put in as our background to give us a little bit of flavor. All right, once I get logged in here. So if anyone wants to suggest something to type into our AI generation, now is your time to do so. Now is your time to do so. All right, we got Leonardo opened up here. Leonardo, paint for me. Paint a picture of a space background with a moon and sun. The sun has a solar flare exploding out of it. Let's see how that does. Let's try the 1024. Let's see what this looks like. Give us something beautiful, Leonardo. Paint us a picture. Paint it for us. Maybe. Ooh, it's thinking. Ooh, some of these look good. I really like this one and this one, I think. Oh, these are great. I think I like this one. It's gonna be our background. I think this will be our background. Let's see how it looks. Save image as. Let's go ahead and save that down here. Put it in our project folder. GitHub 3D Action Racer. Create a new folder. AI generated art. Create a background. New folder. Background. See what this looks like. It might be too intense for a background, but we'll call this solar flare. All right, got our solar flare.jpg, and we'll add in a sprites folder. Sprites. We'll add in a backgrounds. Create folder backgrounds. Oh man. AI art generation, so good. So good for prototyping and just generating some nice little quick things to slap into a game. Especially, it's so good for this educational content stuff. I don't have to, not that I don't like hiring people, but hiring people is expensive. I love supporting artists, but I'm just a teacher. I'm just a teacher. I don't make the big bucks. I'm doing fine though. I'm doing fine. Don't worry about me. If you're worried about me, you shouldn't. I feel like I have a wonderful, beautiful life. I have everything I need. And it's lovely. It's lovely. All right, here we go. We're gonna add this background in. We're gonna, on our camera. Can I add it to my camera? I want it to display my camera as an image. I thought I could just add it to my camera. I could. Oh, that's interesting. Solid color. Depth only. Don't clear. Interesting. Can I drag a picture in there? Oh, fascinating. I thought I could add it in there. I thought I could just add it to my camera. I guess not. I know I can do the following. I think I can create a canvas. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. This might be dumb. I thought I was going to be able to add it just to the camera and be like, that's the background that I want. But I think I can add a new canvas. I'm going to call this my background. And I think I can set this canvas to sort of be behind everything. Take up the whole screen, but be behind everything. Let's zoom out to this. We're going to call this background canvas. And the background canvas, let's add in an image. And we're going to have that image take up everything. All right, and we'll set the solar flare image, source image. Hello? Can I not do that? Why can't I set you? Solar flare. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. I should be able to. What's going on with this image? Is it because it's a texture? I think I need to set it to be a sprite. Single. We set it to be a sprite now. Yeah. So I'm in 3D, so it by default it's importing them as textures, and it's not a sprite by default. There we go. So now I can slap it on there. It's all stretched and distorted because it's not the right size. So I can actually say set to native size. Set it to native. It's interesting. There's some like weird alien text there that I didn't realize. And then we're gonna tell the image to actually center itself. And maybe even scale it down a bit. It's massive. That's kind of cool. Might want to add, I might toss this into DALL-E and make it a little wider. Yeah, we're gonna toss it into DALL-E actually. And add, so DALL-E is gonna give us, let's make it a little bit, the resolution we're going for is 1920 by 1080. So we're gonna toss it into DALL-E and have it draw some extra sides on it, make it give us a little bit more space. And I want to sort of have that flaming sun off in in a corner somewhere, I think. So we're gonna toss it into DALL-E here to generate some additional stuff there. Just a second, let me get into our Outpainting program. All right, so I can upload this image. I keep switching back and forth. Bear with me a moment while I get this. I should bookmark this in my quicks. There we go. Quick. And I generated our background solar flare. All right, so DALL-E is cool. We can say, okay, I want this to be my base image. but I think I want this to be down in my bottom corner. So I'm going to generate some additional digital art. I'm going to tell it to just add in some stuff there in the style of digital art and generate. See what it gives me. I might have to tell it space background, but I'm curious what it'll do by default. DALL-E, another great tool. Lots and lots of AI generatable art, but yeah, welcome. Let's get in here. Let's see what we can do. Sometimes DALL-E's under a lot of stress, I think, and so we might get an error saying we can't generate right now, which would be a little bit sad, but understandable. Also, maybe Leonardo lets us do this. I just don't know how to do it on Leonardo. I don't know if it'll let us sort of add in on the sides there. Oh, come on, DALL-E. Gimme, please. There we go. Yeah, I might have to specific. Ooh, that looks, I like that. You can add an image on Leonardo. Do you know, so Moon is, do you know if on Leonardo I can like say, okay, add to the side of the image and then like erase stuff from it? I like that. That looks cool. All right, now let's add in a little more up here. Space background. All right. And generate. I haven't played around with Leonardo enough. Part of me feels bad because they don't charge you money. And part of me feels bad for eating up their bits, but I shouldn't. I guess I shouldn't feel bad about that. Interesting that they're wanting to do. Oh, I didn't blank space background. Empty space. Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't looked at it enough. I've used DALL-E more frequently, so I do like the stylization of Leonardo a lot. I really like how Leonardo styles stuff. DALL-E has this feature on DALL-E where you can sort of take an image and add to it is really cool. I really like that. I think it's stable diffusion, I think, is the base of how it works. Let's go with empty space. It's running slow today, which is fine. It just means a lot of people are using it. I should really look into getting this installed on my, like a, forget what it's called. Midjourney, I think you can get sort of installed on your own system. All right, there we go. I like that one. And let's add in here now. It's interesting, there's a little bit of chunk over there on the right. Let us see if we can get this. But I love playing around with this stuff. This is so cool for making quick background, generating character portraits, static images. You can't do animations or 3D models or anything with it. I am looking forward to whenever AI is able to generate sort of 3D models. I'm really fascinated how it'll do that, how well it can do that more than anything. All right, cool. All right, let's download this. This came out hopefully really nice. I say it came out nice, but I haven't actually done it. Daniel, welcome back, my friend. Welcome back. Always nice to have you with us. Always nice to have you with us. We are in the process. Let's add it in here. Solar background. All right, and we're gonna delete this. It's gonna get upset with us. It's good at generating elves. I have experienced that. It's good at generating a lot of fantasy-esque. Oh, actually, I don't want to do that. I want to actually, maybe I do. Maybe I do want to do that. Let's see what happens. It's a massive image is the thing. How big is this? Oh, it's not that big. We'll toss that in there. Let's add it in. Well, we got to set it again to our sprite single. Apply. And we'll add that in there like this. Set to native, so it's nice and giant. Scale it down a little bit. I'm gonna scale it down. Using this, I think if I hold down Control Shift scales it with perspective. Okay, and then let's try centering it now. What does that look like? Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Can I switch some on the other side of this thing? Go to my player object. Let's turn around. See if I do it now. There we go. Let's shimmy this a little bit. See if I get that. Shimmy it. Can I not shimmy it? Image. Gotta shimmy that image. Up and over. Maybe down a little bit. What's that look like? Ah, yes. Gonna do some game dev before your game dev stream? Awesome. Daniel, what is the you stream on Twitch, right? You have a different username for your stream account. Would it be okay if I gave you a shout out? I just need to know what the text for it is. Could you send that to me? I'd love to give you a shout out. Cause you're always here supporting me. I'd love, and I've caught your stream a couple times, and it's good. You stream gaming and then also some game development, which is super cool. And I think I always appreciate people streaming stuff out. So I'd love to give you a shout out if you could send me the name. All right, let's see. Oh, we got to get this behind other things. So if I put it on layer, I think I can sort order negative. Okay. I want it behind game element. This is interesting. So I'm struggling here. Blocking objects, blocking mask, nothing. I wanted to block anything. Uh-oh. Can't switch here? What happened? There it goes. I want... Sort over. It should be behind our other. One second here. So I have two canvases. Okay, so I'd have to add a separate camera. A camera that only renders UI and removing UI rendering from the main camera. Gotcha. Interesting. What I really wanted was to be able to set an image on my camera. So we're exploring how to do this. Although maybe the target texture is what it's an interesting thought. But yeah, that's why I set this as separate can. VIP. One sec, Daniel. Let me give you VIP. Let's get you as a VIP here so you can post it directly in the chat. Let me get your name exact here. Go ahead and post it in the chat. You're now a VIP. You can't set an image to your camera. Target share is what renders the camera's image out. Gotcha. I played around with it a little bit. All right, so we're gonna figure this out. So my main camera. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add in another camera here. And that's like the UI camera, is that right? Daniel plays. Yeah, so let's give a shout out here to Daniel. So if you would, everyone come back from lurking. Daniel streams game dev and also streams some gameplay. So give Daniel some love. Daniel's here a lot, hanging out, doing some cool stuff. But check him out, developing all sorts of cool stuff, learning to program, which is fun. It's fun. I think it's really good to watch people code and develop your own skills. And also, watching people play games is pretty cool too. Add a new camera, add only UI to that culling mask. All right, so we're gonna create a new camera. It's gonna be called our background cam. And UI to the culling mask. Culling mask, all nothing, and then we go to UI. So just UI. Okay. So this will only render UI, and then the other camera, I'm assuming we have it display, we don't have it display UI. Is that right? Which is interesting. I turn this off. Set the depth of the main camera to 1. Main camera depth 1. Okay. You have the power of the Chaos Emeralds. Daniel. I want to disable this. This is interesting that my game is still showing this here. That's interesting that it's showing, not that, you know what it is? These aren't tagged as, oh, they are on that UI layer. Interesting. UI. 1 second here. We're gonna disable background cam real quick. Background. Do I have to like it apply? What's interesting here is that we have UI turned off. Let's have this display nothing. I think something's just, that's so weird. 1 second. Our main camera, everything but UI. Something's up with this background canvas. So our main camera shouldn't display UI. So we're in game view now. So if I were to enable this, that's so weird. Because it's displaying the UI. I should this should be camera space. And I should attach it. That makes sense. I'm gonna attach it to, we'll make this my UI cam. That makes sense. That makes sense. All right, so this canvas should be attached to our UI cam. All right, so now if this is on, we shouldn't see it. All right, there we go. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. We are to turn our UI cam on now. What's interesting, I think, is this like isn't in the same spot, so it sort of needs to match. Should have the game over canvas on overlay. That makes sense. That makes sense actually. So the game canvas should still be displayed to the main camera actually, because it should be on top. So we should add a layer. I'm assuming this is what you're suggesting. We should add a layer called overlay, like this. And this canvas is our overlay cam. Oh, you're saying no. This should still be UI. On the, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. This one should still be overlay. Gotcha. That makes sense. But our UI our background canvas, this should be screen space. That makes sense. And this is on our UI cam. And our UI cam just sort of needs to be in the same spot there. And then our UI cam's layer, our depth should be slightly different than our, gotcha. This one also needs to have our Can I nest this inside and just be like, this thing happens to be the exact same as the other one? Can I do that? Is that insanity? That appears to be insanity. Let's undo. Let's undo. Let's move it though to match this for now. Copy position. Paste position. For some reason, well, our main camera is okay, so it should actually be there. Orthographic, that makes sense as well. Let's turn this on now. All right, so our UI cam now is displaying that. We sort of need to want it to sort of be following along with this. So the way the camera's pointed, shouldn't it? It's down there. Shakar29, thank you so much for the follow. Can we just make it big? This is interesting. Oh, it layers UI. Kinda, this is interesting. In the main camera, we need to be able to, all right, so our main camera kind of needs to be able to see what's on this other camera or something like that. Clear flags. Don't clear, depth only. Don't clear culling mask. Oh, I kind of want to get rid of that extra layer. Get rid of that. Don't clear. Oof, 60. Something weird's happening. We're figuring it out. We're figuring it out. We're sort of putting this off there in the distance. I thought it's rendered on the UI cam. Is our UI cam, is it the depth is the wrong set? Should this be bigger or smaller? Is the depth here? Thank you. Our UI cam is displaying it. It only shows UI, and it's, I actually want to think here a layer called background image. All right, that actually makes more sense for that. We're gonna make this show background, and then we'll actually add this to our background layer. All right, and so our UI cam is showing that. Our main, there we go. There we go. What's interesting, so this is interesting. So when I look at this camera down here, I see what I want to see, but when I switch, depth only, don't clear. That was interesting that it got it there for a second. depth only. We have a depth of 1 here, and the UI camera should it be bigger or greater than or less than that? Let's see. It seems to kind of be working the way I'd hoped. All right, it works. Not 100% sure I understand everything that happened. So I'm gonna add a little note to myself here that I want to really want to research. Let's change the UI cam to, I think, let's see if we can do 20. I don't like that in the game view it sort of doesn't update the way I would expect it to. I do like this though. Worked pretty well. Ram Slayer, welcome back, my friend. Happy Wednesday. So nice to see you again. How are you doing, Ram Slayer? No, that if we're following, if I had like an animation, I might. I don't. We could easily add in some sort of like it slowly drifts, but we're sort of trying to copy the fill of Sky Roads, which is just sort of a static image back there. If I wanted to make it feel like it was moving, I know I could do a little thing that's based on the position, make it sort of shift down a little bit. But I'm pretty happy with this, this here, right? So it's sort of, and maybe later I would, but in Sky Roads, I've already lost my Sky Roads tab, that's okay. In Sky Roads, it's just a static image. Thumbert Games, welcome back. Welcome back. Happy Wednesday, my friend, nice to see you. Mooniz, thank you for your assistance getting that camera to work. For your help, take these 50 points, my friend. Mooniz is our resident Unity expert here. If you're not following Mooniz has an awesome, does some streams, and is a fantastic game developer. If you're lurking, come on back. Come on back, hit that little heart button. Just gave Mooniz a shout out, which causes this heart to show up. Give Mooniz some love. Give Mooniz some love. Go check out that stream. Go check out that stream. It's good stuff. Mooniz has a nice little community forming too. Good to do it. Ramsar says bot is frozen. What do you mean the bot is frozen? On YouTube? I'm not 100% sure what you're referring to. Let ask again. Ask again. I'm not sure what bot is frozen means. I apologize. I'm not the smartest of people, so I apologize that I don't quite understand what you're suggesting there. But yeah, welcome, Thumbert Games. How are you doing this morning? You got a nice little background image. I'm gonna add a little save here. I'm gonna put a to-do in here. Done, but I don't quite understand exactly how it works. Research camera overlays. All right. What if I switch this? It was just 5. Does it still sort of work the same way? Ah. Oh, you were behind in the stream. You were like behind by 5 minutes. Thumbert, I'm so glad you're doing well. Morning's going fantastic. We've made a lot of progress. We've gotten all of our goals today. We managed to get through them all. We implemented a fire platform, a sticky platform, a boost platform. We've got a bounce going. We've got some explosions happening. So things are going fabulous. But good afternoon. Good afternoon. All right. So when we hit this, boom, we got some particle effects. All right, we got this sticky platform, which makes it so we can't go. This is our boost. It makes us accelerate fast. And that fire, that little red one there, blammo. No chance. Get burnt. Get burnt. All right. But yeah, so things are going really well this morning compared to yesterday. And I'm feeling great. I know I had been fighting off a sickness. I've been pretending I wasn't sick, but today I think I'm actually not sick. And I think it really feels good. I think it really feels good. And it shows. I think it shows in my stream that my energy. I think you could probably tell just by my energy. I'm feeling much better. I slept yesterday like 12 hours and then another like 8 hours at night. So I slept 12 hours plus 8 hours yesterday. So I slept a ton. I'm feeling better. No throat, nothing going on with my throat today, which is beautiful. All right, so this one's sort of done. I'm gonna move this down to the bottom section here. We're gonna say research topics. Oh, I deleted it. Research topics. Beautiful. How did I do that bottom panel? Ram Slayer is asking, how did you do that bottom panel? I'm not... Oh, on my stream, the little ticker at the bottom? Is that what you're referring to, Ram Slayer? I'm sorry, I'm so dumb. I wish I could... I don't understand the question. The ticker at the bottom, I wrote a little JavaScript ticker to do it. If you're referring to the ticker at the bottom, I have a little program. I wrote a little dumb program in JavaScript, which basically have this little ticker here, which just sort of updates itself. It reads this file, and so I have like this ticker this text file that it reads, and it just like populates it. So on last Thursday, I wasn't able to stream, so instead of streaming, I wrote a ticker. Okay. Let's get this committed. We added it in the background. Feature, implement, simple background, camera. Moon is living in the future. Mooniz says, living in the future is quite futuristic. So I can tell you that Bitcoin is going to crash hard. Oh, Bitcoin. Oops. Shrunk everything. Unintentional. Give me a moment. I got to restore. Windows has a nice feature that's also known that if you shimmy a window, it shrinks everything, minimizes everything but that window, which I often do unintentionally. Apparently I got a shimmy grip that causes my stuff to shimmy unintentionally. But give me a second, I gotta restore all my control panel windows so I can see what's going on again. All right. It does it, yeah, so the problem was, so if I shook it, I accidentally clicked a window which caused things to not pop back up. So I shook it, and then I selected a window, and then when I shook it to bring it back, it didn't know what I had closed, so I was a fool. I was a fool of a took. Okay. I really want to do this text file to level. So we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna be streaming just for another 30 minutes, 35, 40 minutes here, and then we're gonna hop off. But I'm gonna describe sort of what I want my text file to level to look like. So we have our different prefab components, right? So we have our different, not quite. We got to prefab our block as well. All right, so I think my idea is that I think I should switch these all to be 10, like by default 10 in length. Humbert Games, I discovered it by accident because I have a shimmy grip. My grip's always shimmying. I discovered it by accident, but now you know. You can also do this. You can say, hey, I'm gonna maximize that over here. You can do a little maximize-y thing as well. That one I've known about for a long time, but that's a good one. That's a good little trick. WinD, I didn't know that. WinD to minimize everything. You learn something new every day. You learn something new every day. Thanks for the info. Let's see. What are we doing? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I want to make some prefabs here for my levels. So my idea is that my levels, all right, so we're gonna want to be able to load these from a resource file. So we're gonna create, there's a magic, is it resource or resources? I think resources is our special folder, and we're gonna create a create a folder called level data. All right, and then my idea is to have files that look like this. Files that look like this. We'll call this level 1 dot sky. What is the name of our game? Our game is SkyDriver, so we'll call it SDR for SkyDriver. And our level data, we have 7 columns, and the idea is our level is going to be in here, sort of like a grid, So the idea is we have different color things. We go with blue, green, blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so the idea is I could design my level in this sort of fashion. We start it down at the bottom, and if I have spaces, that's going to be blank, but it'll sort of fill in my level this way. So if I wanted to create a level that looked like my platforms look like this, E, B. Oh, I'm bad at this. I want to be able to design a level so this would be like a hole in my platform. My platform would like sort of look this way. So my idea here is I should be able to load in an SDR file, which is our SkyDriver level format, and it will generate the level this way. And I'm thinking that the size of my platforms will be, 1 or 2 units. I'm not sure how long. I think 1 or 2 units in width, maybe 5, but the idea is I'm going to read this file, and the level will get loaded this way, as it'll generate, all our prefab stuff will get chunked in together and automatically build it. And this will also help us make our like smooth platform. But the idea here would be that we'd have certain things like F for fire platform. So I could put fire platforms in here like this. See, does insert button work? Where's the insert button on my keyboard? I've never pressed the insert button on this keyboard. Oh, it's like in the bottom left. That's fascinating. Where's the any key? Yeah, good old fashioned homerism. So I'll put some fires there. I guess I shouldn't do B for, I was thinking B should be boost. B for boost. And we'll do S for sticky. All right. T for tunnel. And then we will do, so this is just like us thinking through what we're going to do. And then X for exit. All right. X for exit. All right. So the idea is we should be able to, how do I do a tunnel on boost? I need I need a letter for that. Essentially, I would need a letter for that. Or I could have a file that has multiple layers. So I basically, I would, I might make it so that this is a boosty tunnel, right? So the idea is each letter represents one of my prefab elements that I can drop in. All right, Thumbert, good luck getting your kids to school. Be safe, my friend, and look forward to see you next time. Okay, but yeah, so this is sort of like the idea here. Let's just switch these all to G's. G is going to be our green ground. G for green. But the idea is each letter represents some symbol, some information about how to render things into our game world. Instead of doing that, let's do search and replace. We're going to replace all B's with G's. Replace all. All right, so this is sort of my idea. And we're going to just sort of combine prefabs together to make this work. Tunnel is going to be interesting. Ideally, we sort of look ahead, right? So we look in our column, we say, okay, how many consecutive G's do we have? Then we're going to say, okay, well, we're actually going to scale our prefab to be the right size, rather than doing it one at a time. But we're going to go ahead and see if we can build the level using this information. is the idea. And so this is going to take, we're not going to finish this stream, but the idea is to get the information necessary to have sort of our builder. So in our scripts folder, I'm creating a new folder called builder. So it's like our level builder chunks. So we're gonna have a level builder script. And this thing is gonna know how to read in one of these, interpret it, and then be able to do stuff with it. So this is gonna be, so I'm an educator. I don't know if I'm gonna give this class to the students or have the students write it or give them most of it and then have them implement different chunks of it. But this is going to be sort of like the computational algorithmic thinking part. And then this is going to be the Unity part, like getting the levels to work we want. So we essentially have everything we need to really make levels. We just need a way to load them in now. Load them in and make interesting levels. So that is what we're going to do next. So public class level builder like this. And the idea is that our levels are broken into chunks on like a 2-dimensional grid that is 7 wide. And so each element in our level, I think it's gonna have I think I want maybe one, maybe even one, I'm not sure. 10 is too much, I think. But the idea here is we have maybe it's a dictionary of positions. And if there's nothing in that slot, it ignores it. I was thinking we'd load this in as an array. Maybe it will be an array. Let's get this to build real quick. We're getting close to having something that's almost a game. Builder. We almost need like a level. All right, so new file in our, we sort of have a platform. Again, this is sort of like our data model. Our data model here. Yeah, so we'll have a platform. We almost have this idea of an entity. So a platform is going to be one of sort of our different types. So we'll have a platform, public class platform. And so our platforms, then we sort of have a tunnel. And the platforms need to know, maybe it's just a yeah, so our platforms have a, so this is what it's going to have. Our platform's going to have a sort of int column. All right, so it's gonna have a column. Well, let's actually just make this a public property column. Get. All right, it's gonna have a column associated with it. It's gonna have a. So this is one of the 7 positions it can be in. So we have 7 different tracks. It's gonna have a column that it's in. It's gonna have a start position. So it's where it starts. And it's also gonna have a length like this. So it's sort of where it starts. So for example, these G's here we'd have a platform that's in column maybe 0. It depends on how I'm going to call it, but 0. It's probably going to be called this column 0, and it has a length of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it starts at 0. All right, so we're going to go through and interpret it. This one here would be in column 1, so this is 0 here. So this would be column 1, and it has a length of 3, and it starts at 0. This would have one. It has a length of 1, 2, 3, but it starts at row, starts at position 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or whatever it happens to be. It might be 5. But the idea here is we sort of construct this thing. We read this file, we construct this thing, and then we'll have something that takes the level and drops it into the scene. So we can sort of like load this file easily and dump it into the scene. But this is sort of our data model of the level. The one thing that's missing, we also need a platform type. All right, so I'm gonna create an enum here. Platform type. All right, public enum platform type. And we sort of have, this is going to be sort of associated with each one of these different symbols. So we have G, and maybe G is a bad one for it, but it's just going to be basic. So each time we have a platform type, we want to be able to load that in. So we got basic for B. I wonder if, can we do, I think we can do like a string thing here. Can I do this? So we can sort of associate those. Cannot convert into string. All right, I can't do that. It doesn't like that. There's like some way we can kind of do it. But then we're gonna have sort of like a mapping from character to our platforms. All right, so basic. Boost, and maybe I should just call it, you know, basic might be bad because it matches this B here. Sticky, tunnel, exit, fire. Yeah, I'm gonna create my own mapping for it. Exactly, Smab. And this will be a nice little use of a pattern match here. Part of me doesn't like basic. Would someone have a good name for a platform that's just like a basic platform that doesn't start with B? Like non-special. In my case, I think I really want to just, what I think I'm gonna do is, instead of G, normal. Normal's a good. Boring. Let's search for these G's here, and we're just gonna replace it with the asterisks. So that's going to be sort of our basic here. I like normal. Ooh, default's good. I like default. Generic. Oh, I like generic too. Generic. I think I like generic a lot. G. Thank you so much for that. I really, really like it. For all the great naming is easy, Smab says. For all the great suggestions. Smab, here's 50 points. And G, for giving me the suggestion that I needed, here's 100 points. Thank you so much for your help. I appreciate it. So we have our platform type here. And we're gonna create, Smab, you might know better than me. Oh, let's add a namespace here for our data model. Namespace SkyDriver dot builder. Format this. Is it considered bad practice? Ram Slayer, thank you so much for asking. I'll answer your question in just a moment, and if I forget, please remind me. Ram Slayer is asking, what are points? I promise I'll explain that in just a moment. But I want to know, is it bad practice, Smab, or anyone who does C# development? Because I'm pretty new to it, to add in a static class in the same file like this. For creating the dependency. Oh no, so I'm asking whether or not it's considered a bad practice. Typically you want like one file per class. But if I'm adding something specific for the platform type here, so I want to add in a class here, or a little helper, public char to character. All right. Or map symbol, right? As symbol, something like this, and it's going to take in a platform type. Part of me thinks this is actually a really good practice, maybe not a good practice, type. And I want to get this symbol here that given a platform type goes to a symbol, and then the reverse, I want to take a symbol and return it. Yeah, so static means I don't have to create it. And the idea here is that we're going to do a switch on the type switch like this. And we're just going to say, the reason I like this here is it's in the same file where I'm declaring all the types. So if I add a new type, it's very obvious that I need to update this. So it'd be generic goes to asterisk. Like this. Boost goes to B. Sticky goes to S. Tunnel goes to T. Fire goes to F. And exit goes to X. And then there will be sort of this catch-all that says throw new system.operation exception. Moon says, why don't you make everything static so you can access everything from everywhere? Extension method must be static. Exactly. Okay, so to get back, Ram Slayer was asking, and I apologize for taking so long to answer your question, but Ram Slayer says, what are points for? What are points for? So I have a little bit of a little shop. Stream Elements has allowed me to add. So I'm not a, I've chosen not to be an affiliate on Twitch. So I don't get to have channel points. I don't get to have channel points, but I've created a, Stream Elements lets me do a little bit of pointage. So if you're on Twitch, so I'm sorry, Ram, so you're over on YouTube, I need to figure out how to get this to sort of work across the gap. But I have a little store where I give away some things. So these are some of the items I have. These are things I have that I'm not using. I have a key for Doom Eternal, Tribes of Midgard. These are humble bundle things. I think you might need, there's some restrictions on who can get these, but the store itself, there's little items I have that I'm giving away. And then there's also, you can have me show off a board game. I have a big board game collection behind me. You can meet my dog if Dusty's up for it. Say hi to Dusty. Or we can have OpenAI generate a story and I'll read it to you in my best storytime voice. All right, so that's what we have right now. Sorry for taking so long to answer your question, Ramslayer, but I hope that makes sense. And I'm sorry that I can't, I haven't yet figured out, I'm new to streaming. I haven't yet figured out how to get the points to work both on YouTube and on Twitch at the same time. So I'll have to figure that out. Oh, it doesn't have loyalty on YouTube at all. Yeah, that's disappointing. I've been thinking about building my own bot, but that'll take a lot of time. I think it'd be nice to build my own bot. Smab says, I don't need to get any of those things. Well, Smab, if there's something you would like from me, don't hesitate to ask. I would like to put some more things in here that aren't like actual items, but I just don't know what to put in here as far as like fun things for stream. Like I said, I'm new to streaming, so I don't know sort of what to do. I thought showing off some board games might be fun. Saying hi to Dusty or the story time thing might be fun for some people. If anyone has ideas for things for me to add to the store, feel free to let me know. Feel free to let me know. I think Smab already has that Humble bundle anyway, the C#.net one. Hydrate and Stretch is a good one. Gee, that's sort of where I'm at. I have so many things already that I just, happy to give them away to someone who doesn't have them or someone who wants them. And they're just sort of sitting there rotting in my library. But Ramslayer, I hope that was helpful. I hope that got the information to you. Ramslayer says, you really don't want a story or meeting with the doggo? That's funny. All right, Daniel, enjoy your food, my friend. Enjoy it. I hope it's delicious. I hope it's nutritious. And we'll see you. We'll see you when you get back. Okay, so let's see here. We need to go the other way as well. All right, we want to be able to go the other way. So we want to be able to take a character and go to a platform type. Platform type. Platform type. We want to be able to go the other way as well. And so we'll have a star goes to our platform type dot generic. This one will go B goes to boost. S is for sticky. T is for tunnel. I feel like I'm on Sesame Street right now. F is for fire. And X is for exit. F is for the friends we made along the way. That's right. Invalid. This will be as platform type. F is for the friends we made along. Invalid character. And then we'll display it type. This will be invalid type. Add a static using statement at the top. Interesting. Should you also send to space for no platform? Ooh, that's an interesting idea. Have like a no platform. That makes sense. None. I like it. Thank you for that. I probably would have gotten there, but I appreciate the look ahead. It's interesting. At the very least, I think I need it here, right? See, Smab is saying if you want the file to be to read more easily, add a static using statement at the top. A static using statement. I'm not. I don't think I've ever done that. I know like a static import in Java. C# static using. Oh, so I could do like a using static. Platform type. Sorry. This should be skydriver.builder.platform type. I was wondering how I could do that. Thank you so much for Smab. I figured there was a way to do that. I just didn't know how. So thank you so much for that. So much better. Smab for making my life easier. I will award you 150 points. That's gonna save a lot of keystrokes in the future. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. I appreciate you looking out for me. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your input. Smab's always keeping me honest. Yeah, I'm really wanting, just so you know, I'm really so I watch Mooniz use Writer. It makes me really want to use it, but I think I should I gotta stick to VS Code for now so I can understand it a little bit better. Although I have looked, I might get an educational license for my students for Writer and have them use that, but I don't want to fall victim to the like trapped in Writer. You learn a lot of things when you're doing in VS Code as well about how the system works. So like this automatic thing, I might not have noticed that it was doing it for me. But nice tools, big tools are good. Okay, let us proceed. I think yeah, exactly, Mooniz. I think for teaching, it's really useful. It's really useful to have VS Code for teaching. All right, so we sort of have this. We're approaching the end here. Yeah, so now we're gonna do a public platform type. Right. Although I think calling it type is probably a bad. Well, let's add this to the namespace here. Platform type like this. That's gonna run into issues for that. We'll stick with type for now. We'll see if I hate that later. Okay, so we have this, and I think what we do in our level builder, we actually just have a list of all of the different platforms, but we need to be able to read in a file and go through and construct it well. But once we have all of the platforms, we know how to just like drop them into the scene. So I actually think we could do here, the level builder just has a list of all of our platforms, and they sort of, it doesn't matter, the order doesn't matter all that much. And when we create them into the scene, we just sort of are gonna choose from our prefabs how to chunk it out. Yeah, I think that's how we do it. That said, this platform type thing might get a little bit too big, and we might end up replacing platform type with some kind of dictionary, from some sort of character mapping rather than having the types like this. I'm not sure. If we have like 50 different enums here, I don't know if enum is the right type. But that's something that we might discover moving on. But we might only have a limited number. If we have like 10, I think it should be okay. Level builder. Okay, so in our level builder, I want to have in a private list. Let's add this to our namespace as well. Ooh, that's a good idea. Ram Slayer, that's a great idea, actually. Using this, we could potentially do some kind of procedurally generated endless level. That's a really cool idea. I'm gonna add that to my to-dos. Potentially explore procedurally generated chunks for an endless level. That's a cool idea. I like that. And so I have what you would do is you'd build out little level chunks. So like this, you could essentially build out like different sets of really interesting, not even interesting, but different types of chunks, and maybe have some sort of rating on them. And then you can randomly select those and sort of like chunk them together from end to end. So rather than having just like random garbage get placed, you say, okay, well, here's a particularly interesting section, right? And this section could lead into these 5 other sections. And so you could build like this procedurally generated, where it's sort of using this idea of a Markov chain to randomly select different level components to build. That's a cool idea. That would be really, really fun to do as well. But let's be careful not to get too much creep in here to start. Too much creep to start would be bad. All right, but our level builder, we're going to end up with a list of platforms, right? At the end of the day, you end up with a list of platforms like this. Smab, and you've just invented Subway Surfer. Exactly. We are the inventors. No one else. We came up with the idea. But that would be a really fun, I think, for students to learn about how that works as far as procedural generation. Would be a really, really fun exercise. It might be sort of like an extra credit or a bonus thing on there. So, because I don't think it'll be for everyone, but I think that would be a really cool extension to this project. All right, so we have a list of platforms. And essentially, we're going to have sort of a static method here. Static level builder build load from file. And it's going to take in a file name. And then this is just going to, that's interesting. It's going to try and turn null for now. That's why it became easy. It was just repeating patterns with different graphics. Yeah. So you essentially you learn all of the different patterns it might have. And you just memorize it. It's like, oh, here it comes. Here's this thing here. It's just, it actually turns out in games like, and I'm sure you know this, Smab, but for anyone who doesn't know, games like Donkey Kong, and like the old arcade games, Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, Mrs. Pac-Man, those games are not necessarily procedurally generated, but they have a randomizer that is not as random as you might expect, and you can actually memorize exactly how a level is going to play out. And that's how like people get the super crazy high scores on them and get so good because they know what's coming. Rave, welcome back from lurking mode. Happy to have you here. Had to set up a gym. Ooh, gym. At like for work, you set up a gym, or did you set up a gym for yourself? Are you gonna get ripped, Rave? You gonna pump it up? Ooh. Gotcha. Setting up the audio gear. Rave, I wish. Rave, gonna Hulk out on us. Fill the room up with your muscles. All right, so we have this level builder. We're kind of out of time here. I gotta stop in 3 minutes, so I don't know how much I want to do here. But this is gonna be the perfect time to start writing in some unit tests. So Rave, here's the fascinating thing. So Daniel turned me on to Restream. I'm actually not using Restream to stream my broadcast. I'm only using the chat feature. So there's a chat bot you can set up that sort of talks between the two. So I'm not actually streaming through Restream. I'm actually using a plugin for OBS to stream to 2 places. I'm just using the chat bot to send the chat to 2 places, and that seems to have worked really, really nicely. So I'm really, really happy about that. So Daniel, once again, thank you so much for that if you're still here. Really, really appreciated it. But yeah, super simple, super simple. The one downside is the way I do my live stream on YouTube is I have like a scheduled event. It's not really a downside, but every time I go to stream, I have to tell the bot to join that stream. I have to, so every time on YouTube, I have to tell it to join the YouTube stream each time, which is fine. It's not that hard. But it would be cool if it was like automatic and could just figure it out. But no biggie. No real biggie there. Okay. All right. I think Devro, so nice to see you. So nice to see you. Happy Wednesday, my friend. Yeah, let me see. What was the plugin name here? It's called Multiple Output. Yeah, it's just called Multiple Output. And it looks like this. It looks like this. And you can add in multiple streams here. So I have like my Captain Coder on YouTube stream here. And then you just click start on whichever one you want. My main stream on OBS goes to YouTube, and then I click start here for Twitch. And so you can control them on and off. You can even use it, so it got reset on me, but for testing streams, you can add in like your test stream accounts in there as well. It's super, super easy. I think it's great. Let's see if I can get this back into, there it goes. Yeah, I think it's just called Multiple Output. Devro, so nice to see you though. Devro, I believe, someone correct me if I'm wrong. Devro, correct me if I'm wrong. You are also a streamer. You're a game developer as well, right? I haven't yet to see you. I've seen you in Art's channel, but Devro is a real game developer, I believe. So let's real quick shout out Devro here. If you're in lurking mode, come on back. Up at the top of your chat there, we got this little Devro. I have yet to see Devro's stream, but I hear they're fantastic. I heard from someone else that they're fantastic. They're a real game developer. Please give them some love. I've been following you. I just haven't seen you go live yet. I'm looking forward to it though. But click that little heart. Give Devro some love. They're working hard. They're building cool stuff. Check them out. And Devro, if you'd like to promote anything, go ahead. Go ahead and do it. I don't know if you're at a point where you're looking for it. Ramsar says, on endless level, you can change background on like 30 chunks done and On normal, there can be like a rule that first line is defining with background in the level. Yeah, so you could have a sort of thing like you could have tunnels. So you could have set up for chunks of tunnels where you end up going through a tunnel, and that like will give you a different background. That would be really cool too. All right. So we got our basic idea for our level builder done. Next time. All right, so I'm gonna wrap up here. Thank you everyone so much for coming by. Oh yeah, let's go check out that Instagram real quick. Let me pull it up here. We'll go for a couple minutes here for our good old Devro. All right. This is, ooh, nice little icon there. Nice little icon. Ooh, are these 3D renders? This looked, oh, I gotta be logged in to click on it. That's disappointing. This is beautiful. These are 3D renders, right, Devro? Wow, that's so impressive. Nice work. Nice work. Yeah, definitely check out Devro. I'm excited to check out Devro soon. Just haven't had it. The stars have not aligned yet for me to see your work. But I've heard awesome things from multiple people, not just Art. I think ITC Studios also has said great things about it. I want to check it out. A battle tank theme, yeah. Ooh, Smab, that's what I decided for the physics project. The actual physics one is gonna be, do you remember the game Scorched Earth? Tanks, gorillas, that sort of thing? I'm gonna do a physics-based catapult game where you're launching stuff at each other. So that's what I'm gonna do for my physics game. I did some research, I don't know if you were here when I was talking about it. I did some research into physics and Unity and understanding the different types of physics that use, but I'm gonna do a catapult game. A catapult game where you're launching things at each other's, like have a castle, and you have a catapult and you're trying to knock things down, battleship style, but with some physics for projectiles. I think that'll be really, really fun. Fun project for students. Enjoy your shower, Daniel. Once again, have a beautiful day. All right, we're gonna find someone to raid here. Yes, exactly. It's gonna be Angry Birds. Exactly. But we're gonna call it like Trebuchet Wars or something like that, because I like to say trebuchet. It's a funny word, trebuchet. All right, let's find someone to raid here. And once again, everyone who's made it to the end of the stream, I appreciate you. I appreciate you hanging out with me this morning, giving me your support, lending me your strength, passing your strength through the internet into my soul. Well, it's gonna be all right. Let's call it just a catapult physics. We're not gonna mimic an actual trebuchet, although that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Have the thing drop and like pull down. That would be super interesting. I wonder if we could do it. But we're gonna go with like catapult. It's gonna be more like tanks. You point, you have power, you have an angle. So you basically set the angle on it. It'll be tank physics. Yeah, but with a medieval style. So maybe cannons instead of a trebuchet. Probably gonna see if I can get Rave to make me some more models. Although Rave might specialize in just space themed stuff, but might get some medieval style cannons, catapults, castle stuff for my physics based game. So I want it to sort of blow up. Just throwing it out there. I'm not sure yet. Angry things. Yeah, I call it angry things. Happy to stream. We are gonna go. Who are we gonna raid? Any suggestions? We could raid Too Much Tomato again. Too Much Tomato is a game developer. Anyone got any suggestions for an up and coming? Anyone streaming that you like that is fun to watch? Maybe doesn't have too many people watching them yet. I like to send the love somewhere. Not that I have a zillion people watching, but it's nice to send the love. And G, you're welcome. Thank you for watching. It's been my pleasure to stream. I absolutely love it. Super Console Kit. That looks cool. Let's try and keep it in Unity. Unity game development. Learning Unity 2D. Ramflare. Rock Thrower 9000. Mooniz, you're welcome. Thanks for hanging out. Mooniz, thank you all for your help today. You could not have made it this far without you, so I appreciate it. We're going to go check out Matt Powers. Matt Powers. I haven't seen their stream, but I think it'd be fun to check it out. They're doing a top-down 2D survival game. Top-down 2D survival game. We're going to give them some love. Matt Powers. All right, everyone. If you made it this far, we're going to give you some points. Add points all. Thank you so much for hanging out. 150 points to everybody who's here. I appreciate you. As always, keep coding, keep growing, keep building those skills. And as always, you're welcome back anytime. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.